Oh, hello, sweet surrender. You again. Please, take a seat. I'll let Trust know you're here. I know how much you two like to get tangled up in each other. Good day, beautiful soul. Matt here. Welcome to day 29 of 30 Days of Rainbow. A journey of poems and questions to awaken the heart. Created by Juniper Klatt. Thank you so much, Juniper. And today's intention is I am surrender. Surrender. Oh my God, theme of my life, especially the last year. Surrender, trust, surrender, trust, surrender, trust. That just keeps being echoed. So today, I've been waiting for this day since watching Juniper put these days together. And yes, surrender. Here we are. Today, where we are being invited to surrender. Let's practice accepting what is and explore where we are being invited to surrender. Wow, reading high is so hard. Oh my God, there's so much. There's so much going on there. It seems like such a bold ask, even though it's such a, basic idea.
Yeah, it's a bold ass.
But it's like in my life is just flashing all like, I don't know. It seems overwhelming. And maybe that's because I'm surrendering right now. This is the first time I've recorded a podcast with someone else in the room.
You're
Surrender. See what happens. Yeah, that's certainly something that I enjoy about surrendering so far is just the newness. Good job, awareness. Good job, consciousness. Thanks for creating this moment. This moment to ask me to surrender. All right, let's dive in. Thank you so much for joining. If you're on the day with me, it doesn't matter what day it is. Today is the day. It is day 29, second to last day of this journey of exploring the spectrum of spectrums. But it doesn't matter when you're tuning in because it's applicable. So let's kick it off with our wonderful host, Juniper. She's going to share some surrenderous juicy bits and read us some poetry.
Welcome to 30 Days of Rainbow. We're on day 29. And today's intention is I am surrender. So you'll note it's not I am surrendering, although you might be doing some of that, but I am surrender. I love in my poetry to explore words in a way that feels a little bit different than you would expect. Like I love writing, I am the sky, I am the ocean, I am awake, I am what? So, I am surrender. Surrender. This word has haunted me. What a word. What a terrible, blessed word. What does it mean? What does it mean? I think for some people there might be some negative connotations to surrender, like giving up your power and being powerless. And that's not what I'm referring to when I talk about this idea of surrender. What I'm referring to is now I'm just getting this image in my mind of my tarot deck. I have the Mother Peace deck, and the Ten of Swords is this card of ultimate surrender. And these priestesses are jumping off a cliff, surrendering themselves to the sea, as opposed to like submitting to this like attack and subjugation by this group of men. And when I first saw that card, I was like, this is a terrible card. Like, this is absolutely terrible. And then it just kept coming up over and over again in like a bunch of readings. And I was like, what universe? What is going on? And to be honest, I've grown to love that card. Not because of the horrific story that it tells, but because of this absolute abandon, this creative abandon that comes with surrender. It doesn't always have to be that dramatic. I hope that it's not always that dramatic. But I'm just thinking about like all of the ways that I try to control my experiences, all of the ways that I try to say, this is how I want life to be, and try to like make it that way. All of the ways that I strive, that I try to do, fix, happen. I write things on my to-do list and then I want to check them off. Come on, that's reasonable. What does it feel like to let go? What does it feel like to say, I don't have to be in control of this? What does it feel like to open to source, to something bigger than myself? What does it feel like to surrender to the flow of life? Just sit with that phrase for a few days and let me know what you think. I've been sitting with that one and whew. Usually life and source and this something that's like bigger than me has a lot better ideas about my life than me. And a lot more is possible. When I was in college, I studied film and theater, and my favorite thing was directing. And I loved getting a group of people together who all had different interests and passions and talent and ideas. And as a director, I saw it as my role to just create a space, to create a container, like we were talking about, I Am Limited, to create a container and invite everyone to the table. And there's just magic in like surrendering to the process. And so I would never come at it with like, this is how we're going to do it, but like inviting everyone to bring something. And we would always make something far more beautiful, far more magical, far more intricate, far more nuanced, far more alive than anything I could come up with on my own. So I kind of think of that, like you're the director of your life. Who are you inviting to the table? And how are you surrendering to the process? Ponder that one with me today. Please share your thoughts. I've got just one poem for us today for my book, Becoming a Rainbow. They say that before this began, there was perfect harmony in chaos. With the great shattering, we tried to separate, call out parts, and hold one world above the other. But our shoulders got tired, and the world started to fall apart. Now the clouds are falling, and the water's rising, every fracture point shining, calling out a new kind of existence from beneath the known. We are the bugs left over in the exploding process, the little bits of chaos needing to be integrated. Those who see the future know we can't go back, and we can't stay here. What is there left to do but surrender and dream? What is there left to do but surrender and dream?
Whatever it was that resonated with you, let's just speak that into our being, into our awareness a little bit deeper with today's affirmation.
Here's our affirmation for day 29. I am surrender. I surrender my ideas of control. I let go of the stories I've told myself about how my life should be. I let go of shoulds and have-tos and the to-do list in the back of my mind. Right now, in this moment, I surrender.
Surrendering into today's daily challenge, which is to, at any time that you're feeling yourself pushing, striving, just trying to make something happen or control an outcome, take a deep breath and say, I surrender to this moment. Anytime? I'll be doing that all day. Maybe not all day, but be a lot of that. Cool. Yeah, I'll do more of that. Sure. I surrender to this moment. I love the GIF that you picked out in this one.
Which one did you pick out?
It's just this animation of the word surrender that looks like it's each letter is its own creature that's surrendering and surrendering and surrendering and surrendering. That's cool. That one's so cool. Okay, moving into today's journal prompt. Our question is, where am I being invited to surrender? And if you've been jamming with the repeat question style journaling, keep it cruising. If that's new to you, this is where we just write the question at the top of our page and answer it over and over and over again. And each time we just have the opportunity to see things from a different light, explore different layers of what that question brings up. Where am I being invited to surrender? Feel free to hit pause and give yourself a moment to journal on that. Here is the poem that was inspired by today's journal prompt question. This is what it sounds like to surrender to life. 261.26 hertz, 311.13 hertz, 329.63 hertz, 369.99 hertz, 392 hertz, 115.3 hertz, 440 hertz, 466.16 hertz, 493.88 hertz, 523.25 hertz. At least in this tuning fork kit. Little context might be helpful here. Juniper just got these tuning forks so that she could play with them on the different meridians, different ways to play with sound, ultimately, in the healing journey, in the diagnosis, in just the exploration. So she's been doing a lot of learning with sound and how to play with that in her practice as she studies Chinese medicine. And I was just playing with these and surrendered to the moment of the invitation to play. And also the invitation to the fact that we could hardly read what the frequency was on each of these forks, so it didn't seem very useful to have to like squint every time to see what every one was. So I was jamming on each one and typed out what the note is and the frequency. So there's like C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, F. And one moment simply leads to the next. Welcome, surrender. And here we are. Today's quote is by Caroline Myss, who said, "The soul always knows what to do to heal itself. The challenge is to silence the mind." Thank you so much for taking the time to surrender with me, to tune into what that looks like, feels like, sounds like. Good stuff. Thank you so much, Juniper. Juniper? Huh. Juniper, where'd the F come in? Maybe that was the frequency I was resonating with when I was playing with those tuning forks. Juna F sharp. Tomorrow's our last day, guys. Unfolding is the intention for tomorrow. Unfolding. So please come explore that with me. Until then, enjoy the surrender. There's a link in the activity feed if you want to see what other people are up to who are going on this rainbow journey and beyond. There's lots of other fun groups and other courses and things to tickle your curiosity. All right, I'm going to leave us with the song One Voice by the Waylon Jennings. What a name. The Waylon Jennings, One Voice. Enjoy.
Together in harmony, This is the sound